comment. The public is allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for public comment. Public comment. Richard?
Richard Haig, 66047. I've exchanged some information with some of you guys, and I appreciate you guys sitting down with staff to resolve this issue. But this needs to be a bigger, broader picture. The one real answer that I'd love to get from somebody at City Hall is why Dream Aviation was not allowed to build at our airport. Dream Aviation, after 3 years, gave up. They moved to Kansas City. They're now building their $35 million project at a Kansas City airport. We have people just wanting to develop at our airport, but they don't know how to progress because everything's been stopped as soon as it's been introduced. And so we need to find out why to get this stuff moving forward. Some of the people that are involved with Hetrick now are people that are wanting to expand at our airport, but they keep hitting roadblock and roadblock. And some of the stuff that's happened from City Hall toward Hetrick has been very negative. Some of the other people have received benefits from different things that the city has done, but we need to get it all above board. We need to get it forward. I understand that what's going to happen with what happened last week needs to be behind closed doors because that needs to be resolved and make sure it doesn't happen again. The FAA has never seen anything like that. Neither have a lot of the national aviation organizations, and they are paying attention to what happens and what progresses. I do appreciate the city's comments and the reassuring the people that we're going to be completely eliminated from the airport, that they will have a spot to remain in their hangar, but enter in a contract directly with the city rather than how it's been. But this stuff needs to be resolved because we do have people, there's a potential for our airport to more than double in size. People are sitting on the sidelines. We need to take advantage of that. You got FIFA. We're not going to have the new hangars in time for FIFA. We could have the new hangars in time for the Chiefs Stadium, for all the developments going on in Wyandotte County. Ours is the closest airport in Kansas. But we need to make sure that if the development's there, if the federal dollars there to help us do that development, if working with some of the partners like KU Endowment and other people is there, why not take care of it? We need to get away from micromanaging and trying to run the airport so tightly that we're losing a lot of people. We need to make it more welcoming, especially on the government side. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Just gonna do this. Good evening, Commissioners. It's me, Dominique, again. I'm here to talk to you about an item I saw on the future agenda items. It's going to be the comprehensive plan amendment that's coming up. It's slated for April 7th. We'll see, maybe something will shift. But basically, this is going to be an amendment that is going to affect the new Boston Crossing, now called 1059. So it is the project that's on the cornerstone of the SLT and US 59. Originally, this project was a mixed-use development that was approved by the city rezonings back in 2024. It has changed significantly. It is now just a strictly commercial endeavor with a very small component of high density that is below the stream. So I don't know if you remember exactly what the project looks like, but the majority of the land is encumbered by the 100-year floodplains. 125 acres is what the developer has reported. When the commissioners are looking at the comprehensive plan amendment, at least my interpretation is that the comprehensive plan amendment tells us what we should do, but not what is legally allowed to. It doesn't get into the nitty-gritty details of what the code allows or the nitty-gritties, all of that stuff. It's more the philosophical question that our community comes to again and again to find these disputes or find resolution where it's should we be doing this thing? And honestly, looking at Plan 2040, I can see how there is conflicting ideas about what we should do with our land in multiple different areas. But I think something that has happened so consistently is in the southern portion, when we get into the Wakarusa floodplain, we have not wanted to do development, and for good reason, because the area, building on a floodplain, I would argue, is just always a bad idea because the water will always move. We can try to mitigate floodwaters, stormwater, all this stuff, but we've seen that story happen in North Lawrence time and time again. We're still dealing with massive issues with stormwater in North Lawrence. But again, it's a should we go into the floodplains of the Wakarusa? When we were talking about the development of the city, sorry, I'm just checking my time. When we look at where we're growing, we are now going west. And I think this is a better decision, but we're also seeming to want to go south. And I'm not sure if this project is going to be a precedent for us to continue going south. How far south, what the city wants to plan to do. Are we going to jump the Wakarusa? How are we going to go through this? So I think these are important questions, but again, like, should we be developing in the floodplain? I think is one of the central questions that you're going to have to ask yourselves when you look at this amendment. Is it just a good idea? Does the city of Lawrence have documents proving that we should develop in the floodplain? Does our Plan 2040 promote ecological conservation, or does it promote a different type of growth that can put the floodplain in jeopardy? What level are we okay with? And what does our history say? How many people have come to cherish the Haskell-Baker wetlands? What revitalization is happening at Haskell with the Haskell greenhouse right now to add to the ecological, importance of the area? Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Figured you were coming in.
Nicholas Totten, 66047. Thank you once again for listening to me here more than anything else, I guess. I am once again making the same statements that I've been making for, I want to go on 8 meetings at this point in time. We need to be doing something about the federal government coming into our city and effectively promote or enacting terrorism against our citizens. Good news, I suppose, we only had one person who was abducted by ICE in the last week. It's time to do something. I can sit here and bang on this drum over and over again, and I will continue to do so until I see actual change. It's the only thing that I can really do on my side. But I know that you guys hear me do that, and I know that the people see these things happen as well, and I don't really know anything else to do as of right now other than say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other comment in the room? How about online?
We do have one.
Okay.
Julie Jones.
Julie Jones, 66047. Sorry, I was refreshing my coffee. And it's been a long evening. I want to encourage commissioners to reconsider moving the public comment back to the beginning. And I would say if Commissioner Sellers is uncomfortable with that, she could go to the back room like she did before. And then as far as the comment was made earlier about rubber stamping, we as the public are feeling heard now with our comments. We are getting responses from the 2 new commissioners, and these meetings are not over within an hour. And we appreciate that because we feel like we do have a voice now with the commissioners, whereas for the last 4 or 5 years, I didn't feel like I had a voice. I could have my 3 minutes to speak, but I didn't feel like that it made a difference of what I said or what anybody else said. So if you want to call it was prior rubber stamping, that's fine, whatever. But we feel heard now, and we appreciate being heard and the clarification for the public to understand what this means for this to pass or that to pass, so the public understands it better. Huge conversations go on next door about the meetings, what they talked about, how people acted. And I think it's important for our city to have that input. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
We do have another one, Mayor.
Okay.
Risa Williams?
Hi, me again. I just wanted to echo what Julie Jones said. I appreciate the commission listening, and I appreciate Commissioner Pullian going out to the shelter. I encourage everyone, commissioners, to go out, see what's going on, see what our city money is being spent on regarding groups that have been formed to help others. There's a lot of, in my opinion, waste. There's a lot of stuff that just needs to be looked at. I know we talked about, and I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about other things that we talked about earlier, but community building, needing to build a ramp, saving money. There's other ways. There's people in town that are willing to build a ramp on the community building and not have to spend that large amount of money. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I really appreciate everyone taking the time to stop and listen to those in the community. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Anyone else?
That's it?
Okay, bring it back to us for motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pullian, a second by Vice Mayor Courtney to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay.
Nay.
Passes 4-1.
You're in the minority in fights.
Literally and figuratively.
Oh, yeah. True. It's nice.
Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night.